Executive Director of Evangelism for the North American Mission Board, Alpharetta, Georgia. He will be accompanied today, and he will bring recognition not only to our volunteers, but also to Jim Breeden, who is the Executive Director of Missions of the St. Louis Metro Baptist Association in Bridgetown in Missouri. So at this time, would y'all welcome Joel Sutherland.
Thank you, Mr. President. This year's crossover was the result of a combined effort of the North American Mission Board and 6 total associations. A few of the people I'd like to thank for all their hard work would be Catherine Renfro in my office and Tom Fairsack, who was on the ground here in St. Louis, who handled many of the day-to-day details. Ronnie Carroll, the Director of Missions in Metro East Baptist Association in Illinois. Jim Breeden, the Director of Mission in the St. Louis Metro Association. Darren Casper, who led 160 college students who participated in crossover this week. Tom Johnston, who led Midwestern Seminary and all of our seminaries' effort this week. All of the volunteers, both local and the thousands who came from around the nation. All the pastors and churches who participated as well. At this time, I'd like to recognize Jim Breeden, who would like to come and give a thank you on behalf of all of those in the St. Louis area.
Last year in Columbus, we invited you to come to the neighborhoods and nations of St. Louis. On behalf of the churches in the greater St. Louis area on both sides of the river, both in Illinois and in Missouri, we want to thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing in crossover, for serving, and most of all, for proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ. I echo what the statement that I've heard several times since we've gathered already, in that I have never been more pleased to be a Southern Baptist, to see Southern Baptists cooperating around missions and evangelism. God bless you for coming.
Thank you, Jim. Here's what we know about crossover this week. The gospel was presented more in one weekend than in any 2 days in the history of St. Louis. And so here are the results. We had approximately 85 projects, 3,984 volunteers from St. Louis and around the nation. On record, 8,379 gospel conversations and 556 professions of faith. To God be the glory. Amen. Thank you, St. Louis and pastors and churches, for all of your participation. Now, looking forward to next year, the dynamic of Crossover Phoenix will change completely. NAM is partnering with Greg Laurie and Harvest Crusade to host a Harvest America event at the Arizona Cardinal Stadium. Next year, we still need volunteers, but every church in America will be able to participate in Crossover by hosting a Harvest simulcast in your church. And so if you'll just jot down the URL, nam.net/crossover, very shortly there will be details on that website on how you can volunteer and how you can host a simulcast. I'd like for you to watch this video at the conclusion of my report now, and consider this video to be your invitation to be a part of Crossover Phoenix in 2017.
Because every boy
and every girl,
every woman
and every man needs to hear.
Hey man, we're giving out.
Crossover has sent thousands of volunteers.
We are witnessing on the street, door to door, in parks, wherever people are gathering.
Crossover has seen thousands of decisions.
The way God's been working is just jaw-dropping.
Crossover has been all over.
To see walking up to people and just seeing the thirst and the hunger right there on the street just is amazing.
Now, Crossover will be born again.
This is big, really.
In Phoenix at the 2017 Southern Baptist Convention, Crossover will partner with Greg Laurie's Harvest America Crusade.
When you came in here tonight, you said, there's something different about this place. This is a place where God is present, you see.
A Harvest Crusade is a worldwide event. It's streamed to thousands of host locations in more than 100 countries.
Hundreds of thousands of people everywhere, hear a clear gospel message.
God sent his son, Jesus Christ, on a rescue operation. And now he stands at the heart of every person, and he says, if you'll hear my voice and open the door, I will come in.
And hundreds of thousands of people everywhere, respond.
Now, for the first time, Harvest Impact and Crossover Impact will be one.
Harvest will hold an evangelistic crusade in Phoenix and stream it to churches, theaters, and homes all around the world.
You can even host a simulcast in your community.
At the same time, Crossover will mobilize churches and volunteers to come alongside Phoenix area churches.
Together, they'll creatively share Christ with a city that desperately needs to know his love.
This is a marriage made in heaven. Harvest America and Crossover Phoenix.
Together, we'll speak to a city. Together, we'll speak to the world.
Yep, I said it once. I'll say it again. This is big.
This is, you'll be able to tell your grandkids about it, kind of big.
This is how God will use you and me to make history. Harvest America and Crossover Phoenix.
Because every boy
and every girl,
every woman,
and every man,
they all need to hear.
Would you one more time give thanks for all that God did in this region through Crossover St. Louis? Let's give him all of the glory. At this time, I want to